So let's go back to the one of the original point from our start of this episode. It's the list from last week. You know, we got like a lot of good feedbacks, and one person is here, Mr. Scott, Sempai, who, you know, what's your question? What's your feedback? What you thought? Did we hit the mark? Did we miss something? Who you?
I think there were a couple, man, that I'm like a little questionable about.
Let's talk about it. Let's do that.
And some people that didn't make it on the list at all, which is also
that's what I wanted to know first offhand. Did we miss anybody? Because it might have actually been somebody that we wanted to talk about, but they got the axe.
So like, just because she was part of the heroes tier list that you guys had, which I'd been talking to you guys a little bit about it on the side, man. You guys had Sailor Moon on here, but you don't got Queen Beryl, which was part of like the first like season of like, Sailor Moon, which was fine, man. Also hashtag Sailor Moon OP. We'll get back to that some other life. There was that, man. There was another character I was just like, oh, they're not on the list. I'm really surprised they didn't make it, but I forgot who it was, man. Frieza being an A, I'm like, man, Frieza had to be an S, man. I understand he had redemption moments, but this man literally sent the Prince of Saiyans to another planet. It was like, yo, Bob's your uncle. Peace out to your clan. Done. And just went around and did that and was just like, whatever, man. It's life. Peace out. Everything's cool, man. He just killed them. Like they were nothing. He just kept killing people too, man. Even though he got resurrected and he helped with Tournament of Power, what's he doing? What was his next big plan? Still want to rule the galaxy. Just didn't care. So, he's like, yo, the galaxy saved because of me, so it's entitled that I obviously should be taking it over.
So here's a fun fact, all right? Just to recap, I have the grading system in front of me. So Frieza had 100 S score from us and he had 4 S score, 100 points from us, and 2 people gave him an A. And for some reason, it averaged a 96.6, which is like,
it's crazy.
It's an A plus.
Frieza was more of a victim of averages than us not giving him that.
Yeah, he's all the way up there.
So in that portion, like, I agree with you. He definitely should. Technically, he should be in the S class, but by the grading system, it was like A. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
yeah, it happened like that, man. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. By the way, big ups to you, man. When I was like listening to it at the beginning of how you guys were going to be grading them, and you said you had like the whole point system set up, I was like, yo, that is mad fancy. I was like so blown away, dude. I was like, yo, how is he going to do this? I was like, I gotta ask him later. It was so cool, man.
Actually, I'll do you a good one. I'm going to send you the link while you keep throwing out points, so you can check it out once we're all said and done.
Oh yeah, that's fine. There was like a couple, again, I just had that question about like the demon from like Black Clover. He could have just been way further down the list. I would have, if average wise, man, if he had gotten stuck in C, I would have been fine with that. The fact that he made it to A was a little questionable because I understand he had like the elves like turn against the humans, all that stuff. He set up that whole plus. Yes. Yeah, man. But like, as far as the problem with that is that the anime is still ongoing and there's such a bigger like widespread world after that. I felt like it was
another
just
spoiler. There's more than one demon. That's the beautiful thing.
Well, no, if you're watching the anime right now, you'd still know that there's more than one demon now, indefinite. So it's not a big spoiler.
No, on the manga. Well, if you were reading the manga ahead of time, you learn like the ace side of the region. You know, that's demon.
Yeah, that's like, demon country. That's backcountry over there. Avenged Sevenfold's over there hanging out.
So for what they presented, I think it was fair to give him an A in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But you say he should be C? I cannot.
Yeah, just because like he had like a small portion after all that was set up, man. Okay. And he just died so quickly afterwards that it was almost like, man, it just wasn't worth it. Honestly, he could have been put it down this. There was the other thing. Who was it? Oh, I had said about Nakugo. I had already said that in like the group chat. I want to let you know that man was a victim of circumstance. He had the same situation that happened with Griffith when he was a boy. He was like part of a royal family and he got sold off and like to a nobleman, and that nobleman just raped him consistently and strong. He just like, through perseverance decided to become strong, just like Griffith, and had the same thought of, I'm going to get into a seat of power to where I can just change everything. And he like ends up controlling the priestess of Seiryu to like pretty much do whatever he wants at the end.
Vicious from Cowboy Bebop?
No, it's from Fishy Yugi, man.
Oh no,
it was serious, man. Like Dave was the only one who had input on it. I was just like, man, I've been telling Josh you should check it out for like.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that he wasn't as evil and he should have been lower than C? Or
I mean, I do think he was a victim of circumstance. I would have definitely put him in like a B, maybe a high B, definitely not an A, but like C. He was definitely better than C. He was also super strong, man. He literally whipped one of his other like fellow Siryu teammates, man, into submission so that like he would be like, listen, if you don't go and do what I say, you're gonna die. Yeah, well, and like that person was like feralish.
One of his teammates literally uses like a sex toy, a sex slave. Like
Soifon, I think her name was, man.
Okay, I mean the anime got my attention. But
dude, it's like it's like one of the original isekai type situations. Like these girls go to another world, and it's like isekai is big now, man.
No, but you think he should be ranked higher, so he's more evil. But you said that he was a victim of his circumstances. So
so was Griffith, though. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Griffith was 100% a victim of circumstances, and he followed through at the end though because he knew what he wanted. Same thing with Nakugo. They're both blonde. Well, they're both.
Oh God.
He's blonde. He's got white hair. It's the same thing, man. The dad from Neon Genesis Evangelion, I didn't even think he was the villain, honestly, man. He was just there. I think if anything, the villain was like the final angel who kind of like played them along at the end. I feel he was the villain, if anything. He should have been mentioned in Bad Dads, which I think he might have been. We might have put him on the list of terrible dads, but
maybe.
Same thing with Kira and Lelouch, man. I don't know if they're like villains, man. Those guys were super anti-heroes in my eyes, man. I would have followed Kira to hell. Shoot, man, he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think with those two, they're more on the list kind of as just because that was a controversy and it'd be like a talking point. They were like talking points more as saying like, oh yeah, they're definitely villains. It was like, let's put these guys on because they're interesting and let's spark a debate and see what people have to say about them.
Which we did our best, but I feel like
S tier is definitely S tier. I'll say that much, man. All these guys are like they were all well deserved S tier people, man.
One of them is a JoJo character, and I'm surprised you're saying
I know, man. Dio's still like you got like I've never even finished past Stardust Crusade, man. But like he's literally in every iteration of JoJo's. He's just always there. Like you don't become a villain to not just be everywhere.
Except for Diamond is Unbreakable. I mean, he is mentioned, but not like...
He's still a nuisance, though, to the Joestar family, though, isn't he, man? He's just such a reoccurring problem for them. So, I don't know, man. I mean, that's like... I think Lou was just saying he's like the STI of like children. He's just like the gift that keeps giving, dude. I like was dying when he said that. And I was like, man, this is good stuff, man.
Lou is a wild one, man. That's
all I man. What was the other? Who's a couple other? Oh man, you guys put what's his face on it for Fist of the North Star? Shen. I know Rao though, man. Where was Rao at? He went out like a G, and he was like there the whole reason from the beginning, man. Rao was like Kenshiro's brother. He was one of his two brothers that he had for the Hokuto no Shin style, and he was like the last fight that he had midway through the season was the most important one. He literally fought like everybody else and was like the driving force after Shen anyway.
I think my score impacted it because I gave him a 60.
Did you watch this?
No, he was just asking like why Raul was there as a
Raul wasn't on there, because like Shin took Kenshiro's girl, but like at the end, Kenshiro's girl got taken again by Raul. It was just like, listen, you're coming with me because I want to fight Kenshiro, and he's gonna come for you. I was like, what?
I didn't know she was like a passing plate, man. I forget that.
Yeah, but Shin was definitely when you guys were talking about it, I was like, man, Shin, he's definitely Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like he came out of nowhere, just like pop, 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 your girl's mine. It was crazy. Mother was a good choice.
But I think Shin was more like dastardly and conniving. Raul was just more like respectable, powerful, down to business. Like he was about power and being the successor.
He was strong,
like he was still a respectable guy. Like Kenshiro still like respected him. Like that was his brother. Like Shin, I just feel like he was just a piece of crap.
Revenge, man. That was the whole point of that, is that like the reason why Shen was able to beat Kenshiro the first time was because he had, the driving force of not revenge, but like, being jealous behind him. And the reason why Kenshiro ended up becoming stronger to beat Shen was because of revenge, which was kind of a really cool twist to the plot. It was very, very nice. Who else was on here? Yeah. Oh, Megatron. Man, I wish you guys had Starscream said. I think it might have been Dave who said, yeah, Starscream would have been better if anything. I'm like, yeah, man, that man's a real Decepticon. He's the reason why that symbol exists, because he's all about like, and I know, Jay, you said this the last 2 episodes, you love a good backstabbing, man, yo. Starscream is your boy. Let me tell you.
I remember
the amount of times he's trying to kill Megatron. Oh, sorry. The amount of times he's tried to kill Megatron is like not even funny. Like even Optimus Prime hasn't tried to kill Megatron as many times as Starscream has.
I remember,
and that's his second in command, dude.
And I remember something about with the Minicon too. Like he was like, I have to be better than Megatron. I got to try to stop Megatron. But yet he never jumps. I think he also jumped ship too. He became like an Autobot and then went back becoming a Decepticon. So yeah, damn, Starscream. I'm taking notes right now of like people who we
Starscream is the real deal, man. It's nuts, dude. It's crazy too. Like even in like the comics, like the IDW stuff, like at some point in time, Megatron's not a bad guy anymore. He's like part of the Autobots resistance group, and like Galvatron's like his own separate person. But Starscream's still with the Decepticons. Like he's like
bad boy
through and through. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be the leader of these guys. It's nuts.